Good afternoon, board. We're Team 7, and today we'll be presenting the strategic plan of expansion of Rejuvenating Spa Inc. Our agenda for today is to discuss the internal and external analysis of the company, the strategic options that are available, our strategic recommendation and the implementation plan for that recommendation, as well as the financial and operating decisions that need to be made. Beginning with the vision and mission of the company, at the corporate level, the vision is to provide exceptional client-centered spa services in an atmosphere that is relaxing and in a manner that is environmentally friendly and sustainable. The mission statement is to provide professional quality services while developing relationships with our clients, our community, and the environment. Now, RSI and Lavish have a business level mission statement, and generally both of them are consistent with the overall vision and mission of the combined entity, but there are some inconsistencies. So first of all, the mission statement of Lavish does not refer to the environment. Secondly, the mission statement of RSI talks about delivering an affordable service, whereas the mission statement of Lavish talks about delivering a premier service. And lastly, both mission statements of Lavish and RSI do not talk about developing a relationship with the community. And now my colleague Michael will discuss the key success factors of the industry.
Thanks, Gabriel. So from our analysis, we were able to find the industry key success factors for the spa industry, and mainly we were able to find that to be successful, a company in the spa industry needs to have quality products, good service reputation, and customer-oriented offers. Also, we took a look at RSI stakeholders' preferences, and we found out that for RSI, there's only 3 shareholders that are actively implicated in the company out of 10. And there's also a lot of disagreement over the strategic goals of RSI and what direction they need to pursue. Also, the current strategy of the company right now is really mainly based on customer satisfaction and quality services that RSI serves to their customer. And there is no long-term goals for a company, and that's the main that's what the company and its senior executive will have to focus on in the future.
So now let's talk about the external analysis. So if we look at political factors that affect the industry, we need to consider that there's minimum wage that varies within provinces. And if we look at economic factor, well, a stronger economy means also that there's more discretionary spending for consumers, so it means more revenues for RSI. Social cultural factors, spa consumers are more likely females, and spas are trying to increase awareness of their benefits and offerings. Technological factors, well, there's development and advances in technology such as smartphones and GPS, which is good for the spas industry because it allows them to better communicate and promote their services. Ecological and environmental factors, spas are trying to be more ecological friendly, as well as they're trying to promote organic products. When we look at legal factors, well, there's always changes in government legislation, as well as politics and permits and license that the spa needs to operate. Now I'll pass it on to Locke for the internal analysis.
All right, thanks a lot, Amelia. I'm going to now start talking about RSI's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So their key strength: highly trained, well-regarded staff. They have a strong health focus. They also have a strong, loyal customer demographic. They have sought-after, health-conscious products and packages that are environmentally friendly. Some of their key weaknesses are weak margins. This is more of an industry-wide phenomenon, but nonetheless, weak margins doesn't give you a lot of room for error. Owners have limited business experience, so currently RSI is facing a potential expansion scenario. The owners will probably have to seek outside help because they aren't necessarily the most financially literate. They also have high staff turnover and a potential contingency liability. As for opportunities, they're in a trending industry. There's a lot of growth. Their revenue has been growing year over year. They have strong customer loyalty, and there's expanding demand within the industry itself and possibility for the industry to branch out into several different niche sources. In terms of threats, this isn't necessarily a recession-proof industry. It's very much considered discretionary spending. They face high competition. They have, as previously mentioned, a contingency liability which could expose them to potential lawsuits, and there's very low barriers to entry. So essentially all you need to start a spa is a few qualified staff and some real estate, and there you have it.
So I'll be talking about the strategic options. We have the consolidation option, we have the franchising and the partnership option, as well as the acquisition of Pure Substance. So I'll continue with the consolidation. So the advantages of the consolidation is because it's currently aligned with Sally's mandate and with the vision, which is to become the leading spa for Canadians through growth. As well as the consolidation will allow to unify the vision and the mission of the two spas to make centralized decision, thus will lead to cost savings. The disadvantages: the two spas are very different at core, so they have different clientele, they have different operational management, they're following different accounting policies, as well as they have different benefits for their employees. Okay, so now I will be passing the floor to Amelia to talk about that.
So now I'll talk about the franchising option. Well, this option has pros and cons. So pros would be that the franchising would be aligned with the board's mandate, which is towards growth. And also, they could utilize franchise capital to expand geographically. Franchising could also give them a brand name, so a better reputation, and they could use franchisees' knowledge to expand their operation and get better operations. So the cons now would be that franchisees and franchisor could have clashing values. Also, expansion could be overwhelming for people who have smaller operations to begin with. And they could have difficulty finding a good location for the franchises. And finally, the screening process can be costly and time-consuming. So I'll pass it on to Bree.
Thank you, Amelia. Right now we'll take a look at the partnership with FFL. The partnership with FFL will allow MTC, the Massage Therapy Centers, to operate with existing fitness centers that is operated by FFL. Now, for some pros, it allows us to expand our business without bearing 100% of the risk through the partnership. This is seen where FFL is providing us the rental space and additional financing for the renovation without at a rate that is lower than the bank rate. Furthermore, we get access to a customer base and increase our exposure. So we're targeting a new market segment. We're targeting customers that are more health and fitness conscious. 74% of Canadians have stated that the fitness center would be a great location to operate a spa. So that's why the location is very convenient. And we also increase our diversity in terms of a new revenue stream. And we also improve employee retention rate. Now, as for cons, there is actually no brand recognition. Maybe we should come to an agreement with FFL to advertise our logo at the fitness center, which might be much more convenient considering the fact that there's a lot of initial investment involved. Furthermore, MTC's operation is dependent on the financial stability of FFL. This is seen where they have various locations in which their fitness centers operate, and if one of the locations does not generate enough traffic, there's less of a revenue stream, and which negatively impacts RSI. And there's also additional expenses that could be incurred depending which type of agreement. If you decide to go with a partnership or if you decide to incorporate your business. A partnership is less costly than incorporating a business in terms of administrative and regulatory point of view. So that is something to consider. And now I'll pass the floor to Law.
Thanks, Bree. So I'll be talking about the strategic option to acquire Pure Substance. Now, the acquisition of Pure Substance more or less constitutes a vertical integration. So essentially what it is that they will be acquiring this company that creates products that they use currently. So there really is potential to save some costs there. However, there also is potential to grow via retail. So they acquire the manufacturing of the product, they can sell it to other retail chains, make money that way, as well as save money by using their own products. They also synergize with several of RSI's current core values. This is a natural, environmentally friendly product. Some of the cons, however, they have limited experience in manufacturing these products. This is not an industry that they're familiar with at all. There's increasing competition in the product market, shrinking profitability, and pure substance is considered to be significantly overvalued. So they will probably need significant financing, and all in all, this is likely the weakest of the four options. Thanks a lot. I'm going to now pass the floor to Gab.
Each of the strategic options just discussed were evaluated on the basis of a set of criteria. And those criteria consist of, does the option fit with the mission and vision? Does the option improve the brand recognition of the company? Does it meet the growth objectives of the company? Does it satisfy the constraints and objectives? And lastly, does the company have adequate resources to implement that strategic option? So based on this decision-making process, we arrived at the following recommendations. So firstly, we recommend that the support functions of RSI and Lavish be centralized. So functions like accounting, administration, and banking would be shared between both entities. We also recommend to maintain distinct brands and service offerings between those two entities. We also recommend to go ahead with the partnership with FFL, and lastly, we recommend to enter into franchising agreements for the RSI brand within 1 year. And now Michael will discuss the implementation plan of our recommendations.
Thanks, Gabriel. So now we're going to discuss the implementation plan based on our recommendation. So what we did is that we took the recommendation and split it in 3 distinct parts. So what we recommend immediately is to do the consolidation of RSI and Lendish. The results of that would be cost savings. However, it's going to be very time consuming, and we are considering that there is going to be layoffs from that consolidation. On the short term, within the next year, we believe that the best would be to do a partnership with FFL. The results of that would be profitability on the short term and long term. However, it's a lot of upfront costs for that. Finally, midterm for the first and second year is franchising. The results of that would also increase the profitability of the company, but we think also that there's going to have a lot of initial input and potential additional costs, but we think that that would be a good return on investment. Now I'll pass it to Amelia.
All right, thank you, Michael. So let's look at the financial forecast and financing. So when we look at financing, we have 2 options. First option is to go with the bank. So with the bank, we would have a maximum funding of $15 million, but with that, we would reach the interest coverage ratio covenant of, that needs to be at 10. And there would be no withdrawal from shareholder until 2017, so we do not recommend that one. Now, the other option would be to go with Blair Cumming. So with our funding, we would have a higher interest rate. But even though we would have a higher interest rate, the covenant would be less stringent, and the shareholders would have yearly dividends. So we recommend that option. And overall, the net income of RSI would be higher. Now let's look at operational issues. So updated vision and mission, major performance management issues, and governance. So for the updated vision and mission, the new vision would be to become the reputable leading spot for Canadian spa goers by growing RSI's brand geographically. And the new mission would be to provide exceptional client-centered spa and therapy services to enthuse client in an atmosphere that is relaxing and in a manner that is environmentally friendly and sustainable. Now I'll pass it on to Anna.
Thank you, Amelia. So the corporate structure and administrative functions, so we're going to need to combine them to save on cost. We would recommend to have one information system and have bi-weekly meetings to make sure that the integration goes smoothly. However, to keep the separate brands, so keep the operating management at each spa separate. Accounting, as mentioned before, SPE and consolidate financial statements. Employee bonuses, make sure that you have one structure for all the employees, and use balanced scorecard to measure performance and to make sure that we achieve the targets. Now, to conclude overall, we're going to need to adjust the mission and the vision. We're going to consolidate the 2 spas. We're going to partnership with Forever More Fit. We're going to continue with the franchising later on and abandon the vertical integration. So thank you very much, and now we open the floor to questions.